Selamat sore teman Basra. Saat ini saya, Windy Gustiana, saya udah punya janji ketemu online sama seorang anak yang spesial banget. Saya bilang spesial tuh karena di usia yang masih setara SD lah ya. Rainer ini dia sudah punya podcast. Nah loh, kalau pas SD kira-kira udah ngapain aja. Tapi anak yang spesial yang saya bakal ngobrol-ngobrol online via Zoom ini, dia sudah punya podcast, dan podcastnya bukan sekedar podcast yang hahaha gitu loh. Podcastnya tuh bener-bener podcast yang berbobot gitu ya. Nama podcastnya siapa coba yang tahu? Sciencelopedia. Kalau tahu di Instagram atau tahu di YouTube, nah ini dia nih orang di belakang podcast tersebut yang kritis banget deh anaknya. Baru usia SD loh. Kita sapa dulu ya. Halo, Rainer.
Hi, Kak Windy. How are you? Hi, everyone.
Oh, okay. I'm fine. How are you, Rainer?
I'm well. It's 9 o'clock in the morning in London, and mine is kind of dark.
Okay.
Well, you can just like out there.
Okay. Rainer nggak sendirian ya? Rainer ditemanin sama ayah, ada juga ibu, ada Mbak Tania, sama ada Mas Benny. Halo. Nanti kita bakal ngobrol-ngobrol juga ya. Nah, teman Basra yang paling spesial ini, Rainer ternyata ada di luar negeri. Jadi ini memang perbedaan waktu 7 jam, di Surabaya sekitar jam 4:30 sore, dan Rainer sudah di jam berapa deh kira-kira ya? Di jam 9:30 ya?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jam 9.
Jam 9. Okay. Rainer, thank you for giving me this opportunity so we can do this together. Thank you so much. And I really love your podcast, Rainer. I love the way you interview, because you interview like a pro. You know that? I love the way you interview about coronavirus, about cancer, about CRISPR, and all of the subjects, include of dinosaurs. And you really representing how kids' perspective for the issues. And I really know how old are you actually? And why you love to study biology or science? Can you explain to us, Rainer?
So do I say my age?
Yeah.
So I'm 9 years old.
Okay.
I just turned 9 like a few months ago. And the way I like biology is like, it's just so hard to describe why I like it. I just like, because like the biology fascinates me, as you see like little cells working together to build giant structures like bodies, and like it just fascinates me how these like mindless cells just think of that. Like imagine some sort of imagine like us, and then we didn't have brains, and then we built giants out of us. That'd be like amazing. How did the cells even make up human bodies?
What about STEM?
STEM is actually really important, because STEM stands, or STEAM, or STEAMed, stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. But STEAM is science, technology, engineering, architecture, and math. And the D is for design, so you can design rockets and stuff. Wow. And I really support STEM, because STEM could change the future of different countries. Like if STEM could increase how smart the kids are, and the kids could really create stuff, and the kids would be amazed with it. They might like the country even more. The country could send rockets into space, and they could improve their lifestyle. Like imagine if Indonesia didn't have any satellites, but with some smart kids, they could make satellites and they could improve more. So like we need more kids that want to innovate Indonesia more.
Wow. Okay, so now tell me about the Sciencelopedia. When you getting started? And
I'm getting started in Sciencelopedia. So my first episodes was when I really like science because because I saw lots of science experiments. I really like science, and I started up my first YouTube channel when I was 6 years old. But Cyclopedia was when 5 years old, and then Cyclopedia was when I was like 8, and then continue on from here. So I started my first science channel when I was. I started my first science channel when I was 5 years old, and then I done about bacteria and carbon monoxide and dangerous stuff. I had a periodic table poster, and I pointed to different elements, and I said carbon monoxide is dangerous and carbon dioxide is dangerous, but carbon monoxide is more dangerous. And then I didn't know why, but then I had some sort of break because I don't know why I stopped doing the channel thing. I think it's because
how did you start? Why did you start Cyclopedia?
I started Cyclopedia because when I just looked at those old videos, I just felt bad that I just abandoned them, and I wanted to make something even more greater than that. Yeah, about teaching this time, because last time was about teaching. And in Cyclopedia, I went in my bedroom and I recorded on the phone, and then we had several complex things. Then we uploaded it on SoundCloud, and then we uploaded it on Spotify after. We started our Instagram. We used our Instagram for posts. And then we got our first group podcast with my uncle. Me and my uncle talk about the periodic table. And the most recent one, although it may change, is the one of Kak Riza. We're actually up to the 24th with Tito, yeah. So that's the last one. And yeah, so just like talking with adults about science because I know they're superior, and I just want to talk with the guys who know more about it, so I can develop more.
Okay, so the idea comes from you, and can you tell me before the preparation, before doing a podcast, Rainer, who choose the topics, who choose the interviewers?
My dad chooses the interviewers. So first, Ajin cut me out on my biology. My first biology one actually, and the first space one was actually from my mom's friend's friends. So my mom had a friend, and then her friend did a podcast, and then he said, "Hey, I've another friend, rocket scientist, and a biologist, an immunologist." And after that, we reach out, and then my dad has friends, really close friends. It's not like it's my dad, friends, and then it's my mom, friends.
Okay.
Like the electron shell, like friends. The highest energy, the lowest energy, the forbidden state. Basically, that forbidden state is like the friend state, and this higher energy is like the higher you don't know state.
So, do you have the question list or small research before you doing the podcast, Rainer?
We don't really have a question list before. So as I talk with the guest tells their point of view, and I pick my favorite one, and we do the podcast. And I don't really have any notes. I just have questions in mind in the podcast, and I just remember the questions, and I ask the questions. And yeah, it's really nice just remembering the questions, like, because there's going to be some diverse questions, and sometimes the guests use like, what was that thing where you imagine, like, remember Kaliza used pencil and paper?
Illustration.
Yeah, Kaliza used like an illustration thing using a pen, like this pen. Wait, this pen? Yeah.
I know that podcast. About the bacteria, right? The pen.
The Kaliza one is about CRISPR. So he uses the pen, then he uses the pen. And then he puts in, imagine the pen cap is the virus because it's small, and the long one is the bacteria. When they come together, the virus wins because the virus attacks. But Cas9 is the paper, and the Cas9 blocks that. So put the Cas9 in the bacteria, and put the Cas9 inside the virus thing, although it's not really that's how it is. Then you plug it together. You can't do it. So I recommend you to watch the Karuiza one if you want to know more about that, because it's really good. It's a really good explanation for me.
Yeah, because all of your podcast is really representing that you are mastering the topics, you know. you really know about the topics. You know about the cancer, you know about the cells, or you know about the human body, and it's really good, Rainer. And tell me about how many books about science or biology you've been read a day or a week? How many?
My whole lifetime is like countless.
Oh, countless.
It's like countless times. I've read science books again and again, and I've read what's that free biology? I had this one for college students. Mm-hmm. That's 3.2 kilograms. And a sixth of my brother's weight.
Okay.
Look at this. Although there's this book, the Obama book, has 700 pages. This is twice of that, but it's exactly the same thickness.
No,
this is extremely.
What kind of books do you read?
Yeah,
what kind of books?
I like physics books.
How many days? How many days you can finish the book?
First was 7 days. I've read this book in 7 days.
Yeah.
And I need to go 49 days. What?
What else did you read? Popular science. No, you don't have to search.
So I kick-started off about the periodic table because I got this book called The Periodic Table. So I kick-started off with the periodic table one with my uncle, with my first group podcast, with the periodic table book, which is a really good book, and I recommend it to kids. And I think you should recommend it because it's really interesting and it has different types, although it could have got a bit better with the densities and the tensile strength of it. But it's actually really cool. And the reason I started Cyclopedia was because I just wanted to share the knowledge. Because what's the use of having a podcast if you don't share knowledge?
Yeah.
If you have a science podcast and you don't share knowledge, to say that memorize this, like periodic tables, stuff like that.
There are so many subjects about biology studies, Rainer. Molecular biology, biotechnology, neuroscience, and many more. So, which one your favorite and why?
It's hard to choose because I've had quite a lot of biology podcasts, but it's just hard to choose because biology is basically like here. Physics is there, and then space is there.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, like biology is just over here, and then the podcasts are like here, stays the same. So it's just hard to choose. And I think the one that just stands above is the Karuiza one because
what's the topic, say?
Karuiza is about CRISPR-Cas9, which stands for Clustered Regulatory Interspatial Palindromic Repeats.
Yes.
And has a Cas9 protein. Cas9 protein puts the gene in the RNA. And I like how there's this micro Cas9 protein that put it in the DNA because imagine it like some sort of postman delivery thing. And then there's the DNA, then the postman delivers like the presents to the track, and then if a virus attacks, or let's say the virus is like some sort of bomb, imagining the World War, then Cas9 explains, oh no, it's the same DNA, like the partial DNA, like partial code. And then the bomb has the same partial code, then it destroys it. So I find CRISPR very interesting, and fascinating. And especially about this complex stuff like tracer RNA and different stuff. Although I'm beginning to understand it. Remember that new video in the morning, 4 hours ago? Yeah.
Okay, Rainer, have you ever felt nervous before doing a podcast? Do you have some trick to control it?
Have actually have in every single podcast. Have in every single group podcast with almost every single podcast I have. But my podcast with Kak Aji was actually really tense because my dad told me that there was Elon Musk was going to see this, and I was like, whoa, what? And I thought, actually, there's no comments. No, Elon Musk or SpaceX didn't watch this. So yeah, so that was kind of a prank joke. And not to keep saying this, but I'm here for Cyclopedia to share knowledge because, like, if I talk about science, but I don't say, I'm not sharing knowledge. I just want to talk about science. Then it's not going to be that useful. You have to really share knowledge because Kamira said the best way to learn something is by explaining. And then explaining, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it, you know why. And just watching and learning, seeing that this happens, you just know. That's what my dad said, that explaining is best.
Explaining is best. Okay, I agree with you. Rainer, what do you want to do with biology or science in the future? What's your dream?
The dream in biology is basically that when I do biology, I want to. It's hard because like there's different stuff. I want to work with proteins. I want to work with proteins and how do cells think, talk. Talk. How do cells communicate, basically? So I want to know about how cells communicate and how we can make our immune system stronger, like on our the micro scale. You know, that's what I want.
Why do you want to do that?
Because malaria is very dangerous.
Okay.
Although the sickle cell disease can give some malaria immunity, but it has to have one gene of it. But there's something that really just makes. Why don't the malaria? Well, why can't the body have some? Because the malaria or the plasmodium attacks the liver. Why can't we can inject more macrophages that will check every cell, and if the cell is if the cell is infected by a virus, the cell will die by itself. Or apoptosis. Use apoptosis.
Okay.
What it means.
Mm-hmm. Rainer, the little scientist. Do you have a scientist, a favorite scientist or biologist you want to interview for the next podcast, and why?
Actually, I got a scientist. It's been on my podcast, Kak Mira, Kak Riza, and Kak Muti. Because they always say to me that I have to follow my dream. And then I just want to follow my dream. So that's my scientist. But even though I want to study biology, I just want to study rockets and physics. I want to study rocket science and physics because basically
Who's your favorite scientist?
She asked, who's your favorite scientist?
Yeah, my favorite scientist is Jamal Khalili and Brian Cox because they work with the quarks and they work with all of the elementary particles. Even though they're not biologists, they fascinate me. And I also like Jennifer Doudna because she made chemistry, because she harnessed the power of CRISPR.
Yeah, did he say
What if there's any criteria about the good scientist, what kind of a best scientist for you, Rainer?
Best scientist would be Jamal Khalili.
No, the character.
the character?
Yeah.
The humanity.
So the scientist has to never give up.
Okay.
The scientist has to believe. The scientist has to have a dream. And the scientist has to be kind. The four main things to be a scientist, I believe.
For the mankind.
Because if the scientist believes in himself, like if he's trying to build some sort of robot, then the robot keeps on failing and then he quits, even though the next try is going to work, then that's not going to be that good. And what was the next one I said?
Give up.
Yeah, he has to never give up. And, because if he never gives up, like, imagine if you actually gave up after.
Thomas Alva Edison.
Yeah, Thomas Alva Edison said that it took me like almost 1,000 times to actually make the light bulb. And he tried man's beard, lots of stuff. And then he finally found out that using fibers of carbon, that it worked. It's not carbon fiber like the thing in the Formula One cars. They're fibers of carbon.
Wow.
And then he had 1,000 times failure.
Mm-hmm.
That's so.
Talk about the character again.
No, so he has to be kind.
Yeah.
Because imagine an evil scientist. Then evil scientist made CRISPR, and you need to have ethics too. Imagine if an evil scientist uses CRISPR and then he becomes like Hulk and then becomes strong.
Yeah.
He has a Hulk Iron Man suit and then he goes wrecking all the cities. But that's not going to be good. So the scientist has to be kind.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be good for humanity.
Humanity, right. Correct. So tell me about your daily activity, Rainer.
Daily activity, so the most popular ones that I do more of the time is I go to school. I, of course, go to school. I read and I play with my brother. And sometimes, I don't know why, but I like to do karate with my brother. I just like fighting with him. I don't know why. And sometimes I ask questions lots because last night when I was playing with my lightsaber with my brother, I asked my dad, Maji, which is better, a straight sword or a curved sword? And then he said that I think the curved sword because it has less area. But straight swords, the formula for pressure is force over area. Force over area. And the curved sword, imagine a wall and a curve. It's really hard. What's that sort of curved thing? Shall I do? Yeah, so imagine a curved sword, okay? That's incredibly tiny
Tell about what you do
area.
every day.
So I ask questions every day. What? Because questions, you can ask everything, you can discover about them. And my dad said that never stop asking questions because questions are the way you learn. And I do math every day, and I do timesing, fractions, dividing fractions, subtracting fractions, and multiplying fractions. And sometimes I even forget how to do it, and I just make my own thing, like minusing fractions. I even forgot how to do that, but I do like 3/4 minus 2 1/4 is equal to make 3/4 as an improper fraction and 2/4 as an improper fraction, and then minus that. So I just like my daily life. It's fun. My daily life is fun in science.
Yeah, should be fun. Okay. Rainer, thank you so much. Then I wanted to interview your parents. Mbak Tiana, Mas Benny, saatnya saya mau wawancara nih ya orang tuanya nih. Giliran orang tuanya nih yang ngomong nih. Mbak Tiana, Mas Benny, sebetulnya sejak kapan sih mengenalkan tentang sains itu ke Rainer gitu? Apakah memang sengaja sejak awal dikenalin soal yang berbau pengetahuan, ilmu pengetahuan begitu, atau gimana sih? Atau seiring berjalannya waktu Rainer ini tiba-tiba suka tertarik sendiri di bidang sains gitu?
Kak Windy?
Ya.
So I like my life because I like my daily life. Because there's two things that stand out to me. I like to do football at home, although we don't have much space in the living room. Might find all of the chairs and all of the bookshelves as like some little obstacle or some obstacle course. And then the next thing is coding, because there's this coding website called Scratch, and then I've made games on it. And you know the games, there's one of them, it's like I made some sort of zombie shooter game, which I don't think would be that useful, and I'm planning to make a more useful game. So those are the two things that really stand out in my life, and I'm moving on to Python.
Yeah. Can I answer Kak Windy's question?
Yeah.
Mbak Windy, sebenarnya kita tidak mengarahkan dia ke sains gitu ya. Mungkin yang kami duga barangkali karena di sekitarnya aktivitas yang dia lihat kebanyakan seperti itu gitu ya. Saya dan ibunya baca buku sejak dia kecil, kemudian kita belikan dia buku gitu ya. Jadi secara nggak sadar ketertarikannya tumbuh di sana, sepertinya seperti itu gitu. Dan kita coba perhatikan sejak umur 5 tahun gitu, ketika kita belikan buku tentang planet waktu itu. Umur 2 tahun setengah gitu. Iya, dia belum bisa baca pada saat itu, dan dia tanya setiap malam karena planet kan bentuknya unik gitu ya. Dia tanya ke saya, ya ini namanya apa? Yang ini Merkurius, Venus dan segala macam. Dia cepat bisa nangkep itu dan dia bisa cerita lagi apa yang kita ceritakan, dia bisa mengulang lagi. Dari situ kita lihat kok kayaknya dia menikmati nih gitu. Jadi kita belikan buku lagi sampai dengan hari ini, dia selalu setiap hari itu selalu tanya hal-hal yang dia pengen tahu gitu. Mungkin ya karena it works both ways gitu ya, dia tanya dan kita berusaha untuk jawab, padahal kadang-kadang kita sering nggak tahu juga, jadi kita cari sama-sama, kadang-kadang kita scrolling bareng gitu ya, cari tahu jawabannya bareng-bareng gitu. Saya pikir itu sih yang menumbuhkan ketertarikannya ya di sains ya.
Tapi
gitu,
Rainer ini kritis sekali loh, maksudnya dia betul-betul kayak waktu saya lihat podcastnya gitu ya sama tentang CRISPR, dia bisa menjelaskan yang itu mungkin kalau anak SMP, SMA, kuliahan aja mungkin belum tentu bisa gitu ya kalau nggak ngabisin buku seperti Rainer gitu kan. Ya. Tapi dia benar-benar bisa cermat dan detail gitu. Ya. Itu teman diskusinya siapa aja kalau di rumah nih untuk bisa bikin suasana kayak gitu.
Sebetulnya sayangnya Mbak Windy ya, background kami berdua ini nggak ada yang terkait dengan biologi.
Oke.
Dan memang kita kewalahan, kita juga nggak bisa memuaskan dia ketika kita ngasih jawaban. Pertama kali dia tanya tentang CRISPR itu, tentang molekular biology itu mungkin waktu umur 5 tahun ya.
Iya. Jadi
5 tahun itu, di umur 5 tahun itu dia punya tanda tanya itu, seolah-olah saya ingin tahu tentang CRISPR dan kami nggak bisa puaskan. Dia hanya bisa baca lewat buku, kemudian nonton di YouTube, sampai akhirnya lah dimulai Sainsplopodia dan kita mulai ajak dia berdialog dengan orang yang memang benar-benar paham. Disitulah dia keluar semua rasa ingin tahu dia gitu. Jadi apa yang sudah pernah dia baca akhirnya ditanyakanlah di situ, karena di Sainsplopodia sendiri kebetulan kita nggak temani dia dan nggak siapkan skrip untuk dia bicara.
Question list-nya nggak ada.
Jadi memang kita setup di awal, kamera dan Zoom, kita pakai media Zoom itu kita setup di awal, kemudian kita tinggal tuh mereka berdua gitu. Jadi kita biarin dialog itu terjadi secara alamiah antara Rainer dan siapapun yang diundang gitu. Jadi kira-kira begitu.
Orang tua ya kalau udah nggak bisa jawab pertanyaan anak, undang aja bikin podcast gitu.
Iya.
Ngobrol bareng sama ahlinya, jadi anak bisa terpapar dengan cara yang benar gitu.
Iya, betul. Itu saya pikir di Sainsplopodia ini sebetulnya kita punya misi ya di balik Sainsplopodia ini. Sainsplopodia ini buat kita hanya media aja yang terlihat di permukaan gitu ya, tapi di balik itu yang ingin sebetulnya sinyal yang ingin kita kirim adalah orang tua untuk bisa sediakan waktu sedikit aja menemani anaknya ngobrol gitu ya, ngobrol aja, bukan belajar.
Tidak harus punya jawaban gitu ya.
Betul. Anak-anak itu saya yakin siapapun ya, artinya saya itu seorang yang yakin nggak ada yang spesial dari Rainer sebetulnya. Artinya setiap anak akan punya rasa ingin tahu yang sama gitu. Hanya kadang-kadang yang berbeda adalah bagaimana kita berusaha menyiapkan ruang itu dalam keluarga untuk bisa memahami bahwa, oh, kamu ada rasa ingin tahu, ayo kita cari sama-sama kalau saya nggak tahu gitu. Dan itu sebetulnya sinyal yang kita ingin kirim lewat Sciencelopedia ini. Dan media science itu hanya kebetulan yang Rainer suka adalah science. Mungkin ada anak-anak yang suka olahraga gitu ya. Itu saya pikir orang tuanya juga mungkin bisa menyalurkan itu, ajak ngobrol tentang sports gitu ya, tentang tumbuh-tumbuhan, tentang apapun gitu sebetulnya ya, yang tidak terbatas pada topik Sciencelopedia gitu.
Dan selama ini ketika untuk menentukan topik biasanya Rainer tiba-tiba bilang aku pingin ngomongin ini deh atau gimana, atau tiba-tiba ada keingintahuan yang belum terjawab langsung jadi topik aja deh buat minggu depan gitu, atau seperti apa?
Iya, Rainer kebetulan kan suka science gitu, jadi kita juga mapping, kebetulan memang teman-teman kita gitu, jadi ada yang ahlinya di bidang ini, kemudian biasanya sih karena sudah kenal gitu, mereka diskusi sukanya apa gitu tentang bidangnya Kak ya. Ya.
Jadi memang ada ini ya, tektokan gitu ya antara aku pengen tahu soal ini gitu. Bacaan baru, keingintahuan baru akhirnya.
Nah, jadi dari guest-nya maupun Rainer yang menentukan topiknya, gitu, topik yang disukai dua-duanya.
Iya. Tapi seru-seru loh, hebat-hebat. Maksudnya untuk anak seusia Rainer yang masih SD gitu ya, tapi topik yang diangkat itu dan pertanyaan-pertanyaan Rainer tuh betul-betul mencerminkan anak-anak banget gitu, yang keingintahuannya tuh saya pikir oh iya bener ya, menjawab keingintahuan orang dewasa juga pada akhirnya gitu, tapi bisa mengusik-usik dengan lebih baik.
Iya betul. Saya dengan Tania sebetulnya berusaha, Mbak Windy ya. Artinya kami berusaha tidak menempatkan Rainer itu ataupun adiknya sebagai anak-anak sebetulnya. Kita ingin sesekali tempatkan dia sebagai orang dewasa dalam tanda kutip, yang artinya mungkin apa yang dia tanyakan, apa dia bilang ada benernya gitu. Dan kenapa nggak kita cari tahu sama-sama gitu. Tidak harus orang tua punya otoriti yang besar gitu di rumah untuk bisa hanya harus didengar gitu ya, nggak pernah mau mendengar misalkan. Saya pikir pada saat dia berdialog lewat podcast, itu kan rata-rata orang dewasa, dan Rainer punya kecenderungan lebih menikmati ngobrol dengan orang dewasa gitu. Nah, sehingga dari situ saya harapkan sebetulnya siapapun yang hadir itu di ujungnya, kalau Mbak Windy perhatikan, di setiap ujung podcast itu saya selalu pesankan ke mereka, tolong nanti pada saat di ujung di sanalah bersikap sebagai orang dewasa. Artinya harus disampaikan pesan ke anak-anak, bagaimana sih seharusnya kamu punya mimpi gitu ya. Kemudian jangan takut bertanya, kalaupun nggak tahu harus dicari jawabannya, tanya orang lain lagi. Misal hal-hal seperti itu, saya pikir orang dewasa posisinya seperti itu gitu. Yang lebih pantas ya, lebih ke mengarahkan dan memotivasi ya, bahwa kalau nanya salah nggak apa-apa, kalau jawab nggak salah juga nggak apa-apa gitu. Ayo kita cari tahu sama-sama gitu.
Karena memang learning is a never ending journey ya, Mas Benny ya. Gitu kan.
Iya.
Aduh, luar biasa loh. Ada yang pengen disampaikan nggak sebelum wawancara ini selesai? Sebenarnya masih pengen ngobrol panjang ya. Tapi keterbatasan durasi. Ada mau yang ingin disampaikan nggak sih, Mbak Tania mungkin gitu, untuk ibu-ibu di luar sana yang kadang sudah kewalahan hands up gitu ya sama ibu, aku pengen tahu pertanyaan-pertanyaan ajaib dari anak-anak mereka gitu. Itu ada nggak tipsnya Mbak Tania? Silahkan.
Iya, sebenarnya sama aja ya. Cuma waktu itu memang saya dan suami berusaha untuk menyalurkan apa yang anak-anak senangi gitu. Jadi memang waktu usia 5 tahun gitu dia suka sekali berbicara tentang CRISPR, periodic table, udah hal yang menurutnya kayaknya susah gitu kan. Mungkin sebenarnya orang bisa bilang, udah deh nggak usah dipelajari tentang itu gitu. Tapi kami sih berusaha misalnya mengajak library, cari buku yang ini untuk menyalurkan hobinya. Menurut saya itu bagus sih, apa namanya, untuk siapapun itu, apa yang anak sukai juga kita bisa berusaha untuk menyalurkan dia dan mendukung dia sih. Itu aja.
Yeah. So the Indonesian, if I get to meet Jokowi, I would say to him that STEM has to be #1 priority in school. STEM could improve Indonesia, improve the happiness of Indonesia, improve the government. Then Indonesia would result in a better place. Although the city might look fine, the city can look better because you can't. There's no limits of technology if everyone does it.
Yeah.
So I can do it, you can do it, everyone can do it.
Yeah.
Ya. Itu kutipannya ini deh, Kid of the Year tahun ini ya. Iya. Aduh, Mas Benny mungkin ada last statement yang ingin disampaikan untuk sharing hari ini gitu?
Ya, saya ingin sebetulnya sekali lagi sampaikan bahwa saya seorang yang percaya dan Tania orang yang percaya bahwa apapun yang terjadi di sini sebetulnya bisa juga dengan gampang diduplikasi di keluarga manapun atau di anak manapun gitu ya. Yang diperlukan saya hanya ingin ajak sama-sama pada orang tua, ayo investasikan waktu kita setiap hari gitu untuk setidaknya baca buku bareng sama anak-anak gitu, atau diskusikan hal lain yang bisa memancing rasa ingin tahu mereka gitu. Saya selalu selesai sekolah itu tidak pernah kita tanyakan apa yang kamu pelajari di sekolah, karena itu biarkan terjadi, dinamika itu terjadi di sekolah. Tapi setelah sekolah tanyakan apa yang dia rasakan. How do you feel? Are you happy or not gitu ya. Kita harus berhenti sepertinya menanyakan tentang klasifikasi anak-anak di sekolah, apakah dia pandai, tidak pandai atau tidak. Itu biarkan proses itu terjadi di sekolah, tapi di rumah saya pikir ada tugas yang luar biasa lebih besar lagi dan seringkali dilupakan untuk kita bisa kenal anak kita sendiri, dan itu hanya bisa dilakukan dengan kita luangkan waktu lebih banyak untuk mereka. Lebih banyak tidak dalam arti kuantitas tapi kualitas gitu ya, dengan ngobrol, kita dengarkan mereka, dia bertanya, kita cari tahu, kalau tidak tahu cari tahu sama-sama. Saya pikir kebersamaan itu akan indah banget pada akhirnya gitu ya. Dia akan sangat-sangat menikmati proses itu sebagai proses yang terjadi dalam keluarganya, yang mungkin suatu saat ketika dia besar akan dia rindukan itu proses untuk bisa ngobrol dengan para orang tuanya gitu ya, tentang hal yang dia sukai gitu. Saya pikir itu sih pesannya Mbak, untuk investasikan waktu lebih banyak kualitas dengan anak-anak kita gitu.
Dan ini Renner sedang merekam sebetulnya ya, untuk dia mengimitasi hal-hal semacam ini nanti di masa depannya lagi gitu.
Iya, harapannya begitu.
Mbak Tania, Renner, Mas Benny, terima kasih banyak. Ini kapan kira-kira kembali ke Indonesia nih?
Kita rencana tahun depan akan kembali ya, akan mungkin ke Indonesia, ya mudah-mudahan nanti bisa ketemu Mbak Windy kalau kami main ke Surabaya.
Tentunya. Iya betul, benar-benar. Pokoknya ditunggu Sainsklopedia edisi-edisi yang baru ya Renner ya. Mau itu tentang planet, mau itu tentang dinosaur, apapun lah, sel, human body, apapun pasti ditungguin karena menarik sekali. Terima kasih banyak Mas Benny, Renner, selamat sore.
Terima kasih banyak Mbak Windy. Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Thank you.